So a few videos ago, I purchased and modded a Nintendo GameCube. This was a DOL 101, meaning a later revision of the GameCube, which doesn't have a digital AV output port, meaning that the image quality that it can display is fairly weak and of poor quality. The only possibility is to go RGB SCART, or like I did, go for an HDMI adapter. This is one from Keiko, and boy, I cannot recommend this one. This thing sucks. It literally just outputs composite to HDMI. That's it. It's the same quality, and I hate composite. So here's what I did. I bought another GameCube. This time a DOL 001, one of the first batches of GameCube, meaning the console is about 25 plus years old. But this one has a digital AV output. But as you can see, this GameCube is really messed up, meaning it has gone through a lot of things. It has a lot of scuffs and scratches. On the front, it's also missing a piece of plastic. As I will show you in this video, even the insides have not been treated well. So in this video, I will open it up, clean it up, modify it, and customize it into something spectacular. Before opening this up, I just gotta clean it a bit on the outside. It's really dirty and I just can't work like that. Time to open it up, and this one has the Gamebit screws. Luckily, I own all the Gamebit size screws, so this isn't a problem. When opening up, I can just see the dust and dirt all over the place. It's clear that this thing hasn't been taken care of since 2002. The fan is chock full of crap, and there's leftover random bits of food crumbs in the machine, so we need to fix that. Bro, what is this, a chipped piece of wood? Then I proceed onto unscrewing the system fan, taking away the plastic back, and proceeding with the rest of the 6.8 million screws this thing has all around. The last ones are these long screws on the front, above the controller ports, which hold the last 4 screws for the top unit together. Then I take the top off. I still like how the GameCube is split into compartments, so it's pretty easy to fix each one separately. Since we need to install a GCLoader in here, I need the bracket on which the disk drive resides. Now to remove the motherboard, there are a few screws in the CPU cooling fan between the grill blades. These are a tight fit, but with some force these can be loosened. I was a bit surprised, as I didn't know these first gen units had another board at the bottom. This one is for the power supply unit. Removing it is just an easy task as the rest, with 6 tiny screws holding it down. I also found the cause of that rattling sound from inside the unit, which was a random piece of microplastic tubing? What? Now that that's fixed, let's proceed to cleaning up the fan. To get to it, I unscrew it from its housing so I can clean it more efficient. I use alcohol on a tissue to clean the fan blades. I place a screwdriver inside the tissue to get to narrow parts and the blades. There you go, as good as 2002 new-ish, and I put it back together. The top lid has always been a hassle. The GameCube uses mechanical springs to rely on the open and reset button functionality. Popping these buttons out is the easiest task of the top part, as well as taking out the power LED indicator plastic. Now I have said this before, but if you are uncertain on how to place back something, take photos of it with your smartphone. This way, you can always look back if you can't remember where to place what again. The plus with this OG GameCube is that the GameCube logo lid is really a piece of plastic. The previous GameCube that I modded, a later model, had this as a sticker which felt cheap. Look at this. What in God's name is this? It looks like chocolate paste or something. Let's take it apart from its board, because I need that plastic for the customizing part. I need to clean up each part by hand, in detail, because, for real, there's gunk in every nook and corner of each part of plastic. Using the screwdriver technique, I can get into the narrow spots. For the Nintendo logo on top, I use a toothpick, as that is even more narrow. These memory card flippers, it's what I call them, need to be extracted as well, in order to make that broken piece of missing plastic more pleasing to the eye. I use this, which is plastic putty. It's my first time using this, and I was expecting a different kind of texture. More clay-like. This is more creamy and glue-like. So what I'm trying to do is to build up some kind of wall, which I later on can sand off. Let's hope for the best. In the meantime, I'm going to install the GCLoader. This is super simple, as it's just mounting on top through the porthole and screwing it down from the other side. For this mod, I will not be using these original stickers. Removing them is easy. Use a blow dryer and be patient. Before any customizing and painting begins, I sand down all the plastic parts with the lightest sanding paper. I do this so that the first paint coat, which is primer, latches on, fills the gaps, and makes a base coat, which will take the other paint layers with ease. The next step is to clean all parts with water. This removes the plastic chrome residue left from the sanding and dries out the plastic, which is ideal for coating it with paint. So time to do the more cool stuff. All of these items need to have a primer coat. Again, I do this outside because the weather was pretty decent. Watch for wind spikes and do this out of sight of any living being. Inhaling spray can fumes is toxic and dangerous. The technique I use is to spray from afar and in short bursts to avoid paint drips. Paint drips will result in an ugly process, so take the time and don't be hasty. Another thing is to place all items on something like pedestals. I use these plastic triangles to lift them from the surface. If you have items touching the surface, the result may be that it will get stuck to it. Now I reckon you have seen the thumbnail and saw what the end result would be. One of the spray can colors said it was warm gray, but when spraying, it looked more like this. This looks brown gold, not what I wanted. Eventually, I chose to paint it dark gray, just like the rest. And after waiting for 24 hours in drying time, these are the results. And when put together, you get this. As you can see, the buttons are no longer stuck and the unit works like it's 2002, baby. The one thing I'm not satisfied about yet is that filled up plastic piece. I need to fix that again with more putty and sanding, eventually getting there. But first, something else. In order to make it the way I want it to look, I need some fine decals. With the help of Mini Munchies, the go-to supplier for your cakes, popsicles and sweets, and the use of our Cricket, this GameCube will transform into the Super Famicom I want it to be. This machine is pretty unique, as you can design anything you want and transfer it directly to an object as a sticker. The most detailed stuff can be transferred in high quality, as you can see. This is the first Nintendo GameCube, customized as a Super Famicom. I am pretty fond on this one, as it replaces my previous Galaxy themed GameCube. I also took the Game Boy player from that Galaxy one and spray painted it again for the Super Famicom one, making it, for me, the ideal GameCube, combined with the GCLoader and the digital input port for crisp video display. Time to test it out in my gaming corner, as I really want to see what the image quality is. That GC plug should provide a much better image than composite, I reckon. With the GC plug, a digital adapter, which converts the video signal to the digital instead of analog, it looks super crisp. These are taken straight from my TV, but believe me, it looks magnificent in real life at a resolution of 668 by 448 on 60 Hz. It looks like you're playing GameCube games on a PC emulator with added graphics functionality. And for the first time, I can sit and play in the original way. GameCube games in great resolution, added with the great looks of being an undercover Famicom GameCube. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate a thumbs up. What's even more appreciated is subscribing to this channel. This will keep you updated on our latest videos, so you won't miss out on anything that's being uploaded. I'll catch you on the next video.